That is extraordinary.
Please stand
Oh,
clear of the closing door.
I think that's pretty clear. Look at that. I am not even making this up. Hi guys, so according to London Mayor Sadiq Khan, there is a toxic air health emergency in London, which is why he claims that he needs to expand the ULEZ zone, the ultra low emission zone, from central and inner London to the whole of outer London. Well, I guess there's only one way to prove or disprove that, and that's with one of these. Now, this is the ELITech TemTop LKC-1000S Plus. And I just want to point out, in case anyone out there thinks this is just a toy or it's not quite an accurate device, I just want to tell you, ELITech, the company that makes these, ELITech Group is actually an integrated in vitro diagnostics company that serves hospitals and laboratories in more than 100 countries. This is professional level stuff. Now, entry-level models like this one costs, I think, just over £100 for one of these. Now, this basically what this does is makes all of that sophisticated electronic measuring equipment accessible and usable by unqualified amateurs like me. So that's where this is really, really handy. So in this video, the plan is to go around and measure the air quality within the ULEZ zone, and then later on, also the proposed ULEZ zone, so i.e. the outer London area, to see if it actually does need the benefits of expanding ULEZ here. And then what I'll do is I'll just honestly, well, you'll see the results in pretty much as I record them. So you'll see that then and there. And I'll also explain what each of these do, and I'll do that right after this.
A brown card guy.
So firstly, like I said, a big thanks to ELITech for sending me this device. And in fact, if you want one of these, you can get one, because not only have they done that, but they've also offered a 10% discount to you if you use the discount code Shahzad. So when you get to the checkout bit, if you just type in Shahzad, that's my name, type that in and you'll get 10% discount. And if you want this device, I've put the link for it below in the description so you can find it there. Now, I'm in my front room in my apartment, so let's switch this on. So you press the on button in the middle there, and you have to hold it down for a little bit. There you go. And as you can see, then it comes up, it's loading. Now, I've got to say that in the user manual, it did say that this thing has to run for an hour or two when it's used for the first time to get more accurate readings. So I actually did that yesterday when I got it. I just left it running for a couple of hours and then I recharged the battery. So this has actually been running, so it should now be reading more accurate figures. Now it starts up on this screen, but let's go to AQI first. So what is AQI? AQI is Air Quality Index. Now this is the basic yardstick. It runs from 0 right up to 500 and it's divided into 6 set of ranges. So up to 50 is good. So that's a good thing. That's 11 at the moment. 51 to 100 is acceptable, but there could be a risk to those who are sensitive to air pollution. Up to 150 is orange, and as you can see, it will give you an indicator down here, so it says good at the moment. Unhealthy, so orange is unhealthy for sensitive groups. Now, red is when it goes up to 200, and that's unhealthy. And you'd think that that would be it, right? Red would be it, right? But no, and it actually then goes up to 300, that's purple, and that's a health alert. So that is a health alert. And finally, it'll go up to maroon. And when you go up to maroon, that's over 300, and that does in fact denote a public toxic air health emergency. So technically, that is an emergency. Now, when it comes to ULEZ, the key readings are the particulate emissions readings, right? Because that's part of what ULEZ actually measures. So when you hit this button here, PM2, it says PM2.5, but it gives you PM2.5 and PM10. Now, the particulate emissions, this is important because this is the stuff that can get into your lungs and it can get into your bloodstream. So this is like the tiny, tiny particles, metallics, and all of these other things that can do that, and that they can cause some harm. Now, the number at the bottom, and again, it gives you an indication of whether it's good or whatever. The number at the bottom is the number of particles. It says per L, so I'm guessing that's per liter. And then it gives you this, which is, I don't know, microgram per meter cubed or something like that. That's 2.6, it's showing on here, and 4.1. Now, What you need to remember for these numbers is that anything less than 12 for PM2.5 is good, and anything less than 54 for PM10 is good. So fortunately, like I said, there is a green indicator to tell you, but you know, these are the figures to keep in mind. Right, now there's also this one. It says HCHO. So what is HCHO? Well, that is actually formaldehyde, and that is an important carcinogen, right? And according to what I found out, anything above 0.1, so it's 0.07 it's showing, right? Anything above 0.1 is unhealthy. So as long as that doesn't go above 0.1, we're okay. That's, again, fortunately, it does give you a reading there saying healthy. And then the other one here is TVOC. So what is TVOC? TVOC is total volatile organic compounds. And that number needs to stay below 0.6, and as you can see, we're sort of halfway to that. So that's interesting. That's at 0.32, but it needs to be below 0.6 to be healthy. Now, I should just say that there's no indication of NOx, nitrogen oxide on this, but nitrogen oxide apparently reacts with volatile organic compounds to form the ground level ozone, which is the bad kind of ozone. So there is a relationship there between the TVOC number and nitrogen oxide. So that's worth keeping in mind. Right, that's all the boring stuff out of the way. The next thing to do is to get out there and put this thing to the test and see what the results are. By the way, can I just mention that I have actually now switched on channel memberships on this YouTube channel. So do go have a look, think about signing up for those. I've put the link below in the description. Your support is always much appreciated. And of course, make sure that you hit the like button on this video and share this. I think this will be quite an important one. And as I said, if you want one of these devices yourself, if you want to check my readings or whatever, you can do. There's a link below and a discount code. Right, let's do this.
Brown car guy.
Right, so here I am on Finchley Road. I'm between Finchley Station and Swiss Cottage, which is just up there. This is the A41, and famously this was recently, I don't know if you can make out, but there are the signs on the roads, on the tarmac itself. It was made into a 20 miles per hour zone. And what you can see is a little bit ridiculous because it's a fast-flowing dual carriageway road. So it'll be interesting to see how we're doing right here. This, of course, is within the ULEZ area now, so we are within the current ULEZ area. So I've just switched it on. I don't know if you can make that out, but that is indicating, let me turn the camera around. So we can see that is 12 on there. So that is still good. And if I go on to particulate emissions, I don't know if you can make that out. It's a bit difficult. If I do that, maybe that will help. There you go. Particulate emissions is 2.9 and 4.5, 422 in total. Remember, we're looking at a maximum of 12 for 2.5 and a maximum of 54 for 10. So we are well within limits there. And I'm standing right in the middle of traffic here. Let's go over to that one, and that's 0.02, 0.04. And we are right down, let's go right down to road level. So let's lean down. And as you can see, hasn't changed that figure much. That's still at 9, so that's still good. And the particular figures are still 2.1 and 3.3. Not bad. Let's crack on. So as you can see, I'm now back on the underground. I'm on the Jubilee line. Picked it up from, just pulled into Swiss Cottage actually right now. So let's turn this on.
Swiss Cottage. This train terminates at...
Wow, 7.7. So what was the figures we were looking for? 12 on PM 2.5. and 54 on PM10, and you can see how far that's got up. It's got AQI. Oh, that's actually gone into moderate now. So that's the first time I've seen it as high as that number. So we're on the Jubilee line, just after Swiss Cottage, and that has gone on to moderate. Actually just dropped there, did you see? These numbers are still okay, but that just dropped because we're moving, I guess. So that's interesting. Particulate emissions, like I said, we're looking at 12 as a maximum. We're close to 12 now on that. Actually, 10, look at that. 54 on this one. But at 12, that's unhealthy. Actually, there you go. You just see that we've now moved into 12. That's moved into 23, 24. Wow, that is now unhealthy. This is on the underground. So that is absolute evidence that the underground is not a healthy way to travel. This is coming up the escalator at Baker Street. Remember what I said about 54 is the limit for PM10? We are 41.9 on the PM10, 22. So 24, we almost double pretty much the safe limit for PM2.5. This on Baker Street Station. You can see where I am, just in this bit here. And what's the AQI? 68. Wow, and you know, this is the bit where you change. So we're not even at the trains level now. We're at the sort of, you know, where you cross over and stuff. What about this? That's still in safe limits, but that's quite extraordinary and actually quite worrying. So where am I now? You can see this is Baker Street, where Sherlock Holmes lived. So the use of evidence is elementary, my dear Watson, and that's what we're doing today. And so Baker Street, and of course, if you're on Baker Street, that means you're on this very, very busy road here that goes up to Euston, King's Cross, all the west. It comes down from the Western Avenue. We can see there's a bunch of cars parked. And one thing I think I've realized about this device is that you have to leave it on for a few minutes for it to get an accurate reading. So this has been on for now a couple of minutes since I walked out of the station, so to allow it to get accurate readings. So I'm standing here now, just at the intersection where the traffic is now stopped. What's the reading I've got? AQI. Let's have a look. That's on 10. So that's good. So again, compare this to when I was just downstairs. So again, let me just point it at the traffic if you like, and we lower it down because people say like the emissions are lower down. So that's 10. Then we go on to particulates. We're looking at 2.5, 3.9. That's come well down from where it was. You can see some diesel taxis are moving off now, right? That one, I think I'm going to stop worrying about that one because those numbers stay pretty low and they remain low. So I'm going to concentrate on the AQI. Air quality index is 10. We are right next to a bus right now. It's definitely a diesel because I can hear it. And the particulate emissions, so I think one thing is becoming quite clear. This is about as busy a road. There's a bunch of taxis. There's a classic one coming. This has got a diesel engine on it. And then this is a Mercedes Vito, probably also diesel. And air quality index 10, it has not moved. Now compare that to what I witnessed earlier on the underground. So I decided to stand right in the middle of this very busy road, and you can see the traffic is just flowing on both sides of me. It's still just near outside Baker Street Station. I don't know if you can make that out. That's reading 2.6 and 4.2. 2.6 for PM 2.5 and 4.1 now. In fact, it's dropping, 4.0. It's showing good, and if I go AQI, it's 10. Can you make that out? It's 10. And then the PM particulate emissions, I don't know if you can make that out, 2.3. Actually, it's just keep dropping as the traffic is flowing past. Honestly, you need air quality scientists to explain to me. I'm going to go right down at ground level because this is what they say, right? It's this level that it gets worse. No, it's still dropping. 2.1, 3.2. Wow. So as you can see, I'm on the bus now, heading towards Marble Arch. What have we got on here? Oh, that number's finally gone up. That's interesting. It's in enclosed spaces, I think that number goes up. There's organic compounds, maybe that's why. But otherwise, it's all good. Okay, so this should be interesting. I am, as you can just about make out, Bond Street Hotel. That's the one there. I'm just off Oxford Street, close to Bond Street Station. And one of the issues that they say regarding air quality in London is construction sites. And I am right, all that noise you can hear. There's a big old drill over there. Don't know if you can make that out. And as you can see, a lot of drilling and a lot of noise is coming from here. It's a big old construction site. So what's happened to the air quality here? Let's have a look. So that, as you can see, AQI is now on 20. We'll come as close to here as possible. That's on 20, so that's definitely gone up. And it's still showing in the good. Remember, it has to be over 50 for it to be bad.
and we look at the particulates, we've got 4.8 and 7.8. It's gone down there. 4.24. It's going down actually. Why is it going down? No, it wants to go down. Despite the fact that we are right adjacent, and you can barely hear me, I'm sure, because of all of the noise. There's a drill. There's a big old, I don't know if you can make out what is going on over there. Can you see? I don't know if that's high enough to see what's going on, but big old drill, right? 6.0, 3.6. Those numbers still well within margin. Wow. So even on the construction site, outdoors, air seems to be healthy. That's what that says. Right, so now behind me you can see Oxford Circus. Circus because there used to be a roundabout. That's long since not happened. But anyway, supposedly one of the busiest intersections in London. As you can see, a line of traffic there waiting to cross this junction. So here we are, we're in the middle of it, right in the middle of it. What are we showing right now? Let's have a look. Can you make that out? That's 27, 29. It's going up a little bit, so 30. Okay, so if it gets to 50, we're in trouble. Is it going to go any higher? Let's have a look at the particulates. 7.3. Okay, that's pretty high, but you know, still within safety margin. Still showing good because that's 12. Remember, is the top number we're looking for, and 54 is the top number we're looking for at PM10. So we're 7.3, 12.6 holding, still holding. We go back to AQI. And we've got 28. It's actually dropped a little bit. I'm walking, this diesel bus is definitely running. I can hear it. So I'll walk around to the back of this bus. Still fine. Oh, it's actually dropped down now. Particulates 4.7, 7.9. Traffic is now moving. Let's drop right down to ground level. 4.6, 8.1, holding. And air quality level, 19. It's quite puzzling, isn't it? I think, what have we learned so far? I think I need another ride on the underground just to confirm what clear, seems to be a very clear conclusion. But anyway, let's do that. Walking down into Oxford Circus station. Actually seems to be getting cleaner. Oh my goodness. In the time that it took me to get out my card and pay for entry into the station, that went up dramatically. 89, so we're well over 50. Remember, 50 is the safety level, below 50. That's on the AQI. PMs, whoa, 29.3. Remember the safety on there is 12, and 54 is the safety for PM10. So it's fluctuating madly. Let's see how it is at platform level. See how that jumped. Wow. Look at the particulate emission now. That is shocking, disturbing, and scary.
This is a Victoria Line train to Brixton. Brixton has no step-free access.
And now on the train. That is extraordinary.
Please stand clear of the closing door.
I think that's pretty clear. Look at that. I am not even making this up. That's the reality right there. That is, the train is moving now. The window's open. Let's see if staying at unhealthy, 161. That is pretty, let's see if that number has gone up. Oh wow. I mean, it's still well within limits, so that's fine, but these are not. That is unhealthy now. That's gone red. That is unhealthy. Oh my goodness.
This is Green Park. Change here.
So let's see how that changes. But I mean, that's terrifying, honestly. So remember, safety levels of 12 and 54 for these two. Look at what we're at. Absolutely terrifying. Way out, up the escalators. They're not dropping much. They are not drop. What's the 159? That's dropped a little bit. Still unhealthy. As you can see, we're going up the escalators. This is Green Park Station. And still very high. So it's not even on just riding the trains, but just being anywhere within the underground stations. That is not budging. Remember, this is real time. I mean, I'm hoping that you'll see that start to come down as we come to the top. Oh, goodness gracious. I mean, honestly, it's not moving at all. What can I say? What can I say? I mean, as soon as we start to exit the station, look how dramatically that falls. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making this up. It's obviously gone into green now, moderate. Still showing moderate actually, because remember the figure is 12 and 54. Now it should be green. Yeah, it's gone into good. And if we're going to, that's dropped to 40, 38, dropping fast. 33, we are out in the park. We are now in Green Park. I'll walk into the park a little bit and measure this a little bit further, but as you can see, 25. Falling fast, 19. You can't make these out, but 4.1, 6.0. So just to confirm, I've just come under a tree to get some shade, but I'm in the park, as you can see. That's how far we are from the road, so we are in Green Park. And we are now at 11. Come back down to good. Particulate emissions. Don't know if you can make that out, but that's reading 3.0, 3.1 and 5.3. 481 is the total number of particulates. That's all good. Wow. I mean, it's not a lot I can add to that, really. Let's go find some busier roads. Just try and find traffic that is bad for us. Contradictory to what I'm about, but I'm trying to be fair here. I am. So guys, here I am. I'm in the middle of, well, what used to be again called Piccadilly Circus. There's not actually a roundabout anymore, but this is Piccadilly Circus. And as you can see, so what is the time right now? Right now the time is it's about 4:30. So traffic is building up, as you can see behind me. And I've been running this for a few minutes now just to get some proper readings. And let me show you what it's saying right now. So I don't know if you can see that. The lighting has been a real problem, but there you go. So 3.2, this is the PM2.5, is a 3.2. You've got 5.1 for PM10. It is obviously saying that's good. And the total number is 468 at the moment. If I go on to air quality index, and then you can see that that is 12. So again, I'm right here in the middle of Piccadilly Circus. You can see all the cars and the traffic flooding past me. There's the buses and all the rest of it. This place is always packed. And I have not been able to show that the air outside, now to be fair, this is all in the ULEZ zone, right? So I guess fundamentally that's the debate, isn't it? That ULEZ helps clean the air. Although to be honest, like a lot of the traffic that I've seen has been diesel cars, diesel vans, diesel buses, diesel taxis, some electric vehicles, quite a few electric vehicles I would say. Not like dominating the road traffic, if you like, but a fair few. But then most of them, like, there's still a lot of these old diesel taxis, as you can see, are still running. So it's interesting to note that, you know, this is the traffic that we're talking about. This is pretty much still average traffic. Yes, the cars obviously are ULEZ compliant in most of these cases. So there is a benefit, which as we know is 45% in this area, 25% in inner London, which is enclosed by North and South circulars. So the real question is, like, does the benefit, or not so much the benefit, but is the air so bad in outer London compared to what I've monitored here? So you've seen all the figures from today. You know, outside it's never got above, you know, much beyond what it is now, which is 11, 12. Is the air much worse in the outer London areas, and that therefore we need to implement ULEZ? So this is the question now that we must address. I think the question that we have addressed is the air in London is fine. It's pretty good. Even standing right here in the busiest part of London with traffic around me, it's fine. It's terrible underground. It's terrible underground. That much we've also seen. So that's a big concern. I mean, to be honest, like, I was actually quite worried about even traveling on the underground, having seen those numbers. But you know, it is what it is. So next thing to do is to go into the outer London area and see how we get on with that. So just thinking about it, actually this video has got a bit long. So what I think I might do instead is I'll do this as a two-parter. It's still showing 16 right next to the road here. Buses going past. So what I'll do this as a two-parter. So this first part is basically within the ULEZ zone, and my second part will be in the outer London area, which is going to be the ULEZ zone, proposed ULEZ zone from August 29. So stay tuned for that video as well, coming soon your way. Make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it.
Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these three little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.